Hey, how's it going, guys? I am in sunny Sanibel, Florida, and today I'm talking about, does website design matter for SEO? And Hook Agency specializes in where persuasive web design and SEO combine. That's kind of our thing. So I feel uniquely qualified to talk about this today. I'm gonna do a little beach tour too as I'm doing this, just for fun. Super proud of my parents. This is their third residence, and they've took the risk to make their own business, and just proud of what they do. And their sound and lighting. So get at them if you have big productions all around the United States. They're super good at what they do. Reach Communications. But yeah, they got this spot in Sanibel. So I'm going to show you a very pretty walkway out to the ocean here. But yeah, so people ask, does the website design matter in SEO? And the short answer is, you can rank a website without it being good looking. So a lot of people are like curious, does it matter? So the visual design of that website doesn't really matter necessarily for your ranking. Now, it does have some implications, and we'll talk about those. So the main thing is that it can help keep people on the page. The ocean might be a little loud here. That's why I did this little mic, DJI pocket mic. It's pretty cool. I hope it helps with the sound as I'm out here on the beach. Yeah, so it keeps people on the page. And there are some things that affect the ranking of a site when, oh man, it might be too loud out here. I'm gonna head back if it gets too loud because I want this content to be good. If you guys could comment and say if it ends up being too loud out here. Whew, we got kind of the water coming up. Yeah, so the reasons that the visual design might have implications for SEO, you're talking about hierarchy and messaging, like the H1 tags, things like that. Ease of navigation. Can people get around the website easily? If it's hard to get around the site, that can be bad for the SEO. It also matters for interlinking to the different pages, and then usability. So you don't want people to be getting frustrated on your website and going elsewhere, or not being able to get where they want to go. Those things matter for SEO, because basically if Google is kind of tracking whether if somebody comes to your website and then they jump back to the search results. So they could get onto your site, they click onto your site. Let's say they Google your city plus roofing, and then they click onto the site, and then immediately they get scared off and go right back to search results. That's where it could have negative implications on your SEO. So that's the main reason why it does matter. It also matters for page speed. So, hey, I got somebody, there's people roofing right behind me. It matters for page speed. Because if your website is slow, let's say it takes 10 seconds. This is kind of a dramatic example, but what if it takes 10 seconds for your website to load? That would be bad for SEO, because number one, Google can tell. Google's algorithm can deduce that your website isn't loading quickly, and then also it's just bad for the user experience. So where the website design does matter a lot for SEO is particularly when it negatively affects the user experience of somebody on the website. But bad design can still rank. So that's the question people give me is, does it matter if I have a bad looking website? You know what? I'd rather have your website rank. In the order of importance, ranking is higher. That being said, what if 200 people are coming to your website a day and not one of them is turning into a customer? So that's where persuasion and persuasiveness really start to matter a lot. So once you do get stuff ranking, are people going away? You know what I mean? And is it not letting them become a customer? And I'd say it's almost stopping them from becoming a customer because it's not trustworthy and it looks bad. And one of the things that I think a lot of times people do if they over-optimize for SEO, SEO is not the only thing. If people get to that website and they see a wall of text, they might just leave. So you can't just think about SEO the whole time. It has to be a balance of both ranking and persuading. Ranking to get people in from Google and persuading to make sure that more of the people that are actually getting to the website become a customer. And if somebody is advising you just on the SEO portion and isn't advising you on the actual persuasion and getting leads part, they may not be telling you the whole story. So you want your website to be persuasive, and that's really important. All right, yeah, so basically you want to try to increase word count, and this is something that we do, and you can do too with things like FAQs, show hides at the bottom of the page, or alternating images and text. You want to be able to increase the word count without scaring people off. So that's something we have to do a lot in our design. I'm going to put on sunglasses, bright. That would make a lot of sense. I would love to answer any questions on this topic. It is something that we get a lot, and it's definitely one of our, what's a show hide? That's a really good question. Thank you, Matt. Yeah, so basically it's a little, I'm trying to remember, there's other names for it, but it's like the little thing that opens and closes. So you can click it to show the text and click it to close the text. I'm sure there's a better name for it. I'm literally just blanking. But basically something that shows text and then gets rid of it, because you can essentially build out word count in things like that. And it allows you to then not hit them with a ton of text. Now, I almost want to just kind of note, it doesn't really matter as much on your homepage. Unless you're going after like your main city with your homepage ranking. I think of this stuff as kind of the interior service pages. So if you had, let's say, like a Cedar Shake roofing in Albuquerque, New Mexico page, those are the pages that you really want to make sure they're at least 500 words. Unique content. You want each of these pages to be unique content. I feel like I advise people on this all the time. Hey, you need 500 words. And then I'll go and I'll see people doing the same content or just, copying and pasting and stuff like that. Basically, it has to be unique. So I just want to make sure that that's really clear. Unique content, you can do the different cities around you. I know that this is something I talk about a lot, but you can create suburb landing pages and kind of the key locations and for different cities as well. Like I was saying, Hook Agency's specialty is where persuasive custom web design and SEO combine. So I like talking about this stuff. I actually really enjoy it. So if you guys want to talk more about it, ask questions. And there's a new video out on YouTube, on our YouTube. It's Anthony Fuchel of Montana Roofing Solutions, and he shares how he was able to do $2 million in sales in his first 6 months. He moved out to Montana, so new city. Man, what a dude's got hustle. Just you see him out here like Saturdays and Sundays out on roofs doing amazing work. And so yeah, it's really fun to just see young guys like that pushing into the risk of entrepreneurship and winning. Jordan Harrison says, how does video on your website factor in SEO? Very good question. Yeah, so basically you should be doing more videos, okay? People consume content that way. So it really doesn't even matter for, like, if you're thinking about just SEO. This is where I think people get stuck. They're thinking just SEO. SEO matters, but it's one component of an overall persuasive marketing strategy. But video does help your SEO. So here's how, and then I'll talk about why just video matters in general. So it matters because when people hit your site, if you have a video on there, they're more likely to stay and watch it. So if you have a 1.5-minute video, let's say, and you're in Albuquerque, Cedar Shake, roofer, you put a video up there that says, "Hi, look at this landmark for Albuquerque behind me. Hi, we do this in your area, and we're actually in your area now. We'd love to help you. These are the types of things that we specialize in." That is more interesting than any text because it's a human being giving eye contact to the camera, and it makes it more fun and interesting. So even if you can get people to stay, think about this, whenever you're designing or putting together your website, if you can get people to stay 1.5 minutes, you're winning. 1.5 minutes. I know people get confused and like, well, I need to get them to stay 6 minutes and read everything. No, literally the battle is between 0 to 20 seconds and 1.5 minutes. If you can get them to stay 1.5 minutes, make the beginning of the video good, make the thumbnail really good, make the name of it very good. So those are the types of things that I'd focus on. It keeps people on the site, which helps your SEO because Google says, oh, when people click to this site, they stay. But when people click to this site, this other site that doesn't have a video, they leave. So those are the types of things that you're essentially, you're battling it out with other websites on the internet. It's a constant competition. And so you're trying to make the best possible website, not only to rank, but also to persuade. Now, why does video matter in general? Because it's good for your SEO, yes. And honestly, Google also, I believe, indexes sites quicker when they have video on them. Just it knows people want video. So it's, optimized for humans, and it will help you optimize for Google sometimes. So the reason video matters beyond just SEO, video matters because this is the way a lot of people like to consume. Get on video. Yes, sir, Jordan. Appreciate you being out here, bro. And everyone check out, he's got a podcast, Preferred Contractors Podcast, and we have an episode coming out soon too. It matters because some people consume video instead of text, right? So you're just empathizing with your ideal customer and you're allowing them to consume the information in the way that they want to consume information. That's why I think video matters. Not even just for just Google. If you're just sitting around thinking about Google constantly and not thinking about these other ways to get in front of people and these other reasons why making things that are persuasive and interesting matter, you're only getting half the story because Google is not the whole internet, right? So I always try to encourage people that are working with Hook and young entrepreneurs you got to have 5 strong lead generation strategies. And ideally the messages go together and you have look at this like pond here. Ocean's really coming up. Ideally they work together and they have chemistry together. Your different marketing strategies. Yeah, basically they build each other too, because as I learn, let's say I'm trying to learn social media. As I learn social media, all of the skills that I'm building and learning here and learning video and stuff like that, I'm not saying I'm a master, but as I learn this stuff, it helps me understand psychology. And marketing is all about psychology, persuasion. As I learn sales too, it helps my marketing skills. So if I had one message to just other marketers out there, sometimes marketers watch my stuff, man, study sales and apply the stuff that you're learning in sales to your marketing. Study psychology and apply the stuff that you're learning in psychology to your marketing. And basically all the things that we learn from this over here, from social, we're going to apply to SEO, and all the things that we're learning from SEO, we can apply keywords, money keywords, right? Apply that to what we're doing over here on social, and you start to get this chemistry, beautiful chemistry that happens in your marketing, and things start going together. And you have to trust it sometimes. There's only one person watching this right now. I trust myself that this will be a useful video for someone, and if I'm useful to people on a regular basis, that is good positioning. And I hope you guys trust yourselves too, and win more business today. All right, see you guys.